Hey guys, what's up? My name is Anthony, and welcome to another edition of B&A Sports Talk. So today I want to talk about the cornerback position for the Giants and a specific free agent that you probably can tell by the thumbnail that I'm going to be spotlighting. So the Giants have a lot of needs this offseason, and cornerback is one of them. It's probably the fourth need. I probably have a future left tackle at number 1, then edge rusher / linebacker at number 2/3, and then quarterback at number 4, probably center at 5. Tight end at 6, and then yada, yada, yada. But I think that the Giants are going to need to make a splash at cornerback. And one of the guys rumored to want to join us is James Bradberry, and that's because we have a lot of money to spend, to be totally honest with you. People are like, oh, cornerback is the most valuable position in the field after quarterback, probably most likely in today's NFL. Then you also have people like, no, left tackle is. No, edge defender is probably the second most. I think that cornerback is important, but if you have a great defensive line, it can mask it a little bit, but obviously quarterbacks are getting the ball out really fast right now. James Bradberry in 2018 held up more towards the line. He didn't give receivers that much space, and it shows in the stats. It shows in the stats because he had more yards per target, but the yards per completion were way down. And this year, when the guy caught it, he caught it and ran for more yards after the catch. You look at his missed tackles, 12%. Up from 5% in 2018, and that's because he was allowing those short yard gains. And sometimes you miss, and the more the guys catch him, the more you'll miss. So in fact, he had 9 missed tackles this year, which is like 3 times what he had last year, which is a little bit concerning. People are like, oh, he had a great year. He didn't really have a great year. If you take a look at Janoris Jenkins compared to him, 61 to 69 PFF grade. Janoris Jenkins was a better player. He's also 5'10". He wasn't put in positions to succeed. That would be Janoris Jenkins. He had against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers where he's 5'10". He has speed. He has a 4.4 speed, but you have Mike Evans, who's 6'3", and you're giving him no help over the top. I mean, come on. Janoris Jenkins had an above-average IQ as far as finding the ball, knowing where the ball is going to be. He got fooled sometimes, but Janoris Jenkins overall was a solid corner, and I think history will look upon Janoris Jenkins as, you know what, he gave us a little bit of problems sometimes, but he was an overall solid cornerback for us. You take a look at it with the Saints, they're probably going to use him in a better way. He only started 2 games and already had an interception with them. I think that Janoris Jenkins is probably on the downward trajectory of his career. So we're going to be like, oh, Janoris Jenkins wasn't really that good, but he actually was with us. I don't think he's awful. A lot of people are like, oh, you need to get him off the team, but we weren't putting him in a position for him to succeed. And hopefully our new cornerbacks coach, our new defensive backs coach will be able to put our new guys in positions to succeed. It always happens. Eli Apple, all of a sudden, he leaves us, and he has a couple good seasons with the New Orleans Saints. It feels like forever since we had Eli Apple. I think it was only last year that we got rid of him. But James Bradberry, a couple of points that I have 3 points. First of all, that point where he was playing a little bit more off receivers. And second of all, he wasn't getting a lot of targets. And I think that was because the other side of the field was a bigger mismatch. I think quarterbacks are like, oh, let's just go to that other side of the field because the guy's going to be wide open. Let's not go towards James Bradberry's way. And I think if he is on the Giants, he'd get exposed for what he actually is. I think he didn't get a lot of targets last year because, he played well in the beginning, and then it's just like teams see that on film. It's just like, yeah, let's just stick away from him. I think that James Bradberry is a solid player. I'm not saying he's bad, but I'm saying that I think that he's going to be exposed by us, especially if DeAndre Baker improves next year. He's going to be another guy that a team sees like, oh, that's a mismatch. He's 6'1", and Janoris Jenkins actually tests better in all the athletics than he does. So that's a little bit concerning. He's not like a hugely big explosive guy. But James Bradberry, number 3, the third point I have to say is when he's playing zone, he often was very confused. There's often so many guys that were left open that the quarterback did not go. And so when he was playing man-on-man, he would play off the ball, and the guy would be open, for a short route, and the quarterback didn't see him. And also when he was zone, I noticed a lot of times he'd let the guy go, and the quarterback didn't see it. So that's eventually those patterns catch up to you. But he kept his eye on the quarterback at all times. It seems like he has a smart IQ like that. He does not turn his back to the quarterback that often. Janoris Jenkins had a habit of doing that, trying to catch up to the defensive back. So James Bradberry knows where the ball is at all times. That's a positive about him. But $15 million, that's a lot to spend on a guy that I think is going to start getting exposed in this NFL. I think that's all the points I had to say. I'll probably put a pointer. I think I have one more point, but I think that's pretty much it. All the things that I found out with James Bradberry. He's a solid guy, but not worth $15 million. Teams like the Redskins are going to go after him. Teams like the Eagles are going to go after him. I think he's going to be a second wave guy. He's not going to sign on the first day because a lot of teams are going to be cautious about him, kind of like how I am. And maybe his price goes down. Maybe it does. And if it goes down to 13, I'd think about it. But honestly, I'd rather have a lockdown corner than another guy just going to get exposed every single weekend. I think that he has matched up against guys like Julio Jones, Michael Thomas, and who else in this division? That who am I missing? Chris Evans, or Mike Evans, sorry, not the Avengers guy, but Mike Evans. He's also matched up against those guys and did well. He got 2 interceptions against Tampa Bay this year. But in this division, you look at it, there aren't too many good receivers. And, you have Amari Cooper, you have Deshaun Jackson, who's injured, and then you have some young guys in Washington, so maybe that helps. But overall, you're still going to get exposed when it comes to the playoffs because these guys don't play. I think that James Bradberry is solid, but he's not great, and I think he's a step down from Janoris Jenkins. Honestly, I'll do more free agent previews, but right now I don't think James Bradberry is the guy. I really don't. You can say the connection is to Dave Gettleman, $15 million. He may give us a discount if he really wants to play for us. I'm not too crazy for it. I don't think Joe Judge is going to bring a guy in just because Dave Gettleman has a little connection to him. We already kind of did that with David Mayo and signed him to a deal, but I think he was productive. But we'll see. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what you guys think. The Giants are a bottom 5 secondary. We're awful. Bottom 5 in pass yards, bottom 10 in interceptions, bottom 5 in yards per attempt. So we're not good right now, and I think that a pass rush will help. But in the end, you need guys with good ball skills, and James Bradberry was able to make some plays last year. Only in 2 games though he had interceptions. So we'll see. He's been fairly consistent. You have to make a splash on one of these great free agent targets. I still have to do a little bit more research on what the pros and cons of these guys are, and whether we can get a true lockdown corner or we can't end up with Corey Ballantyne. I feel bad for him. He got shot and the whole thing like that, but I really don't see how he's going to improve unless our coaches see something in him that I don't, and he ends up getting coached up better. But I think that Corey Ballantyne is a lost pick. But, we still have Ryan Connolly from last year, Darius Slayton, that are all steals. And, yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what you guys think. What should the Giants do at cornerback? More free agent previews as I do more film work. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye, guys.